that's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Yeah, you're not laughing now, are you?
And we are not laughing now because I forgot to freaking I forgot to freaking post it everywhere. Bosh, this was, as you can see by the peculiar nature of the name of this stream and what this stream is, and you see I didn't even put the Substack in me. I'm just telling people it's live. It might help. Hang on, I'll take a couple of seconds. 1, 2, Senderama. There you go. Right, so let me tell you what happened. There's a couple more things I've got to sort out. But nice to see you all. I wasn't going to stream tonight. I've had to get on the. Listen, actually, I'll wait for a few more people to turn up before I talk about that because that's quite important. Barkley knows this is happening. This isn't a joke. He's just waiting in the wings. He doesn't. I just said to him about 20 minutes ago, or about half hour ago, I said, "Do you want to stream tonight? 5 minutes." He went, "Yeah." I've already spoken to him today, though. We had a little chat. It was quite funny. We talked quite a lot, actually. But this will be a laugh. Right, hang on. Just sort that out. Get that there. Hang on. Right, that's that. That's groovy. That's there. I want blogs. Are you on the firm blogs? Billy Blogs, are you here? Barkley will come, but we're going to wait for a few more people to turn up. His blog's on the firm. I'll say some hellos while we're waiting. We're not waiting for anyone, really. Walsh is here. Hello, mate. See you in a minute. JP, Pizzle. Hello, Picard. Plot losers in. Hello, Baz. Des Cats. These cats, not Des Cats. Good Lord. Sorry, mate. Vinny. Vinny's all over a live stream. Lovely. When's the mashed up potato stream? I don't know what it means. Have you just memed me there and I've not known it? JP's lurking. Denise Manise is calling it a Barker's. Liam's in. Hello, mate. Sure, I've missed a few people. The boy Cray's in. 42. I thought it'd have been recording 8 Mile 2 by now. 22H, saved the day. Not like exactly. Well, I'm not. I am actually. I wasn't going to stream. So I'll tell you what. I've got a job and that, and I've got a lockpicking channel, and I've got loads of them actually. It's part of how you do it. Do you remember I told you about that chocolate? Instead of getting a viral video of 1 million views, they made 1,000 accounts on different social media, and all those accounts get like 1,000 views, 5,000 views, and they post every day. So if you do the maths, sort of they've reversed engineered a viral video because they're getting like 100,000 views a day. It's a very good marketing. So not exactly doing that, far from it. But I got on the shorts, I got busy with TikTok, didn't really work, put a lot of time and effort into it. Not really the platform for my business. And other people have tried and failed as well. And, I looked at the analytics and thought, meh. But I made 4 shorts and got over 30,000 views in 24 hours, which convert to subscriptions. Not a load, but significant number. And so if you see, I've just done 2 shorts for this channel, they're 15 minutes long, me just shouting at the camera about pulling birds. There will be loads of them. There'll be at least 2 a day because it works. And if it annoys you, just don't watch them. But, I've spent this week I've been researching shorts. And the YouTube algorithm now, I mean, no one knows the YouTube algorithm. There's basic things like likes, subscribes, and shares. So engagement, that helps with your channel's authority. The higher your authority, the more likely you're going to get suggested to someone. Right, let's imagine you like renovating 18th century French furniture. That's your channel. You renovate 18th century French furniture. And your channel, based on how many likes it gets, how much of the video people watch. So if it's a 10-minute video and the average watch time is 6 minutes, that'll be part of it. Comments, length of, so one comment, you reply, oh, they reply, you reply, they reply. So all these things give your channel a score. Who knows whether it's out of 10, out of 1,000, out of 1,000,000, or maybe it's a letter and a number. But here's the thing. So someone goes onto their YouTube and they type in renovating 18th century French upholstery or whatever, furniture. And what YouTube does, it has to make a decision. Say there's 20 channels that do that. How does it know what one to put first? Based on the authority score. So that's how it works. And now, at the moment, you cannot seriously expect to gain, not significant, that's the wrong word, but no, sorry, not substantial, that's the wrong word, but you cannot expect to gain significant new subscribers, i.e. you cannot expect your channel to grow, really, unless it's a unicorn. You do an interview on telly, you have a viral video, obviously there's all those sorts of things. But I've been doing this for like 8 or 9 years and that ain't happening. I mean, I was in the national press grooming teenage Nazis or some nonsense, but that didn't quite work. I think I lost a few subscribers. So to make sure this channel does stay alive, because I know we all think, 130, 140 people, or get some guests on, 500, 600 people. I mean, the videos still get over 1,000 views regularly. But people will leave, because that's what happens. People, do a couple of years and they tend to leave. So I need to have new people coming in. There will be shorts. I will try and make some ones. Obviously, I'm going to try and make them good because I want to get subscribers, but with 15 seconds and all the other things, you're competing with busty ladies with little titles like, you want to see her when her skirt's off. And yeah, blokes do. So my mug, so there you go. I know the shorts ain't everyone's cup of tea, but it's just the reality of boom, look at that. As if I can't do longer than 5 minutes now. Oh, Skin drops a bullseye. Thank you, Skin. Very kind. Can't stay for long. Oh, what a terrible shame. Just finished an 18-hour programming session. Should pocket me $8,000. Oh, great work, man. Fantastic work. I was meant to do a stream yesterday about if nothing changes, about, well, what it sounds like. If you're in a rut, if you're drowning in self-pity, nothing changes. If nothing changes, you've got to make your life happen. And the world is there for you. It doesn't happen to you. It's for you. And when I read a message like that, I see someone who's being successful. 18 hours, 8K, learned to program somewhere along the line. Don't know how, but did. And look at that. Amazing. Nice one, Sin. Congratulations on that. And congratulations for what it signifies. Look at the position in your world at the moment. Now, don't get me wrong, 18 hours coding, yeah, I couldn't imagine 8 minutes of it. But there you go. You've got, I don't know your situation, but you've got an holiday there. You've got a couple of grand investment and a couple of grand for living. Ain't bad for 18 hours graft. Great work. Thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. There is another one. The boy Mac. Chris, funny thing is, I tried my hardest to prevent it sounding like 42 was rapping. Oh, sorry, mate. It's not, though, is it? I know what you mean. It's but it gives it a sort of a tongue-in-cheek aspect that I quite like. talking about tongue in cheek. What? Hmm? Oh, it tastes like the poisonous chemicals of the Chinese factory that knocked them out and thought, what are these Westerners about? You know, the real people who've got. Thank you, Al, for the donation. You've done a great job on that track. Oh, there's no, not an epic fail at all, an epic success. We played it on here yesterday. Not that that's a measure of its success, but we did play on it yesterday. VC, long time no see, comes through with a Lady Godiva. Nice one. Oh, I've got to do a proper stream now, and I don't worry, Barks, you're still coming on. Give me a second. Give us a second. Yeah, the real measure of Western civilization's descent into, I'd use the word insanity if I believed in mental illness. Descent into, we don't need it. We don't need the superlative. The real measure of Western civilization's descent, the people who really see it, are the people in the Chinese factories knocking out millions of fake tongues and bum fannies. You know, they're the people who get home from a day's work and the wife says, "Ying dong." Sorry, I couldn't stop myself. YouTube trust and safety. That is a joke related to a joke because I was with a Vietnamese girl for 6 years whose parents used to sing the Spike Milligan song, "Ying dong, yi lai bao." And I'm with a Cambodian. Yeah, I've got me. I've got my brown girlfriend get out of racism jail free card. So steady. 42. As I'm surprised you got time for us these days. I thought you'd be up there. Boom, shakalaka, nearly go by the head. And 'tis spoken word poetry with backing music. Are you saying it's what they used to call them, a slam? Is it a slam? Is that what they used to call them, the feminists? Did you see my tweet? I did tweet. I don't know if you saw my Twitter post. It was, I said to Twitter, give me some chat up lines. I'll read a couple of out while we're just waiting for a few more people. We've got 100 people here. Spectacular. But there's some absolutely grotesque. Anyway, the people who've got the measure of Western civilization's downfall are the people who get home and their wives say to them, "Oh, how was work today?" And they say, "Oh, you know, I helped paint 1,000 bum fannies, 20 different versions of fake poo, fart spray." Just, I live in Southeast Asia. I've spent a lot of time in this part of the world, and they don't have like joke shops. When I'd done that joke to my missus, she just was like, "What is it?" She didn't go, "Oh," or anything. What is it? Why is my Twitter newt opening? I've got to read you a couple because this is another measure. 42. Thanks for the lady as well, mate. Much appreciated, Canuti. I've got a meme drop tonight. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I do about 3 meme drops a week. There are at least 25 memes and news headlines, but they're definitely worth a gander. I have been starting to put some on Telegram as well, but with Getter as well, it's like 1, 2, 3. It takes about an hour. Oh, I don't mind. No, fight the good fight, son. That's a good one, though. They're turning New York City into Junkie Town. I can't see what the problem is. Someone sent me a link to some doctors. They're creating a vaccine. A vaccine. Now, I don't really know what. I think a vaccine. I think it's. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have done research into it because do you remember that joke a couple of years ago about that weird lie? Remember all that crazy? Masks, don't, Dragon's Den had like glass panels separating people. Oh, don't get near to someone because you might get a cold. But then I think a vaccine is something that causes antibodies to grow. Therefore, you know, it's like what do they call it? It gives you a small amount of the illness so that your body produces antibodies, so that when the full lie comes on, you've got the antibodies. So there's this research being done. I'm going to make a video about it, but I might as well summarize it all now in 30 seconds and ruin the video. Because listen to this. I mean, the whole mental health thing is such a lie and a blag, and it's a racket. It's a racket. This whole addiction being a disease is an absolute racket, right? Listen to this, because like I'm not taking anything away from anyone who's died taking drugs, right? I know plenty. I've lost loads of friends from overdoses, but I'm only going to accept that if you accept it's the same for a rock climber or a Formula One driver or a car driver or anyone who does anything that involves an amount of risk that might kill you. You know, it's not, you know, why the Formula One driver? Yay, champagne, yeah, he drove that thing at 100 miles an hour, fucking ludicrous madness. Yeah, he risked his life for 5 hours. I didn't get any of that celebration. I risked my life like 7 times a day. Every day I stuck things in my femoral vein that was bought from a bloke on the street. I didn't know what it was. All sorts of things I stuck in my bloodstream. I deserve the podium and a bottle of champagne. I think I'd done pretty well, really. You see the logic, though. Anyway, so here's the madness of this opiate vaccine. So they reckon people who've been snorting coke have been dying because it's been cut with fentanyl. Now, cocaine is a stimulant. And the definition of stimulant in that context is an arsehole. It's someone with nothing to say and no confidence, given the illusion that they've got something to say and confidence. So they've still got no confidence and nothing to say. They just think they have. And they come over to you and they just start going, yeah, I've always thought we were soulmates, me and you. And you're like, sorry, who are you? Yeah, I mean, you're the first girl I fucked. Her mum and dad used to make her fuck her dog for money. And you're like, what? Hang on, I just wanted a quiet beer. Yeah, let's pour them on our heads or something. I mean, what is reality anyway? That's cocaine. And they reckon it's being cut with fentanyl, right? Which is a sedative, stronger than heroin in a certain way. I mean, how you gauge the strength of a dopamine neurotransmitter, fuck knows, it's ridiculous. But, there you go. Now, drugs already exist to block opiates. They're called partial agonists. Subutex, buprenorphine is one. Now, the idea being, it's a blocker. It's a blocker. You take it so that when you take the skag, it doesn't work. Now, junkies are quite cunning people, they're very resourceful. And when the National Health Service says, we're going to give you 12 milligrams of buprenorphine every day, you have to go to the chemist and take it in front of them. Supervised consumption, which is nice when all your mum's friends are in there and all the other blokes in their army coats and Reebok classics are standing around looking like skeletoids. When they're going to give you that, which has got quite a high black market value, because if you haven't got a tolerance to opiates, 12 milligrams of Subutex will get 12 people fucked. Really? You could cut that up into 12 under your tongue, sublingual, and they'll be like, or weirdly sometimes picked up. It's an odd thing. So what you do, because you're choosing to take drugs. You haven't got a disease. You're not addicted. On the superficial level that your body's going to withdraw when you stop taking it, yeah, if that's addiction, okay. But, you know, that's not, it doesn't fit the DSM or any of the mental illness definitions. So you go in the chemist, he gives it to you, and then you put it up here. And then you just sit there for a few minutes as it slowly doesn't dissolve under your tongue. Then he goes, all right, let's have a look. And you go, and then you walk out, spit it out, and it's slightly sort of, you know, it's dissolved a little bit, but you can still get 20 quid for 12 milligrams, which you can then go and spend on heroin. So it's a nice kind of, you know, it's almost like an activity for junkies, keep them busy. You know, they get a visit to the chemist, and then they get something to sell to buy their gear. So that these things work quite well. I told you before, didn't I? I told my key worker, you have to go and see a key worker every month if you want to get your script regularly. And you just sit in there, and the key workers, you know, they're just bored. They're as bored as you are. They know that they've been doing that job for 10 years and no one's got clean. And certainly not from their help. People stop using. Guess what? I'm going to blow your minds now. People stop using drugs, including alcohol, when they want to. And that's it. That's the only time. No drugs or treatment or this or that is going to stop them. Now, they might get help from treatment or drugs, but it's only when they want to stop. So I told my key worker, he said, so have you been using? I said, yeah, loads. He said, but you're on Subutex. He said, should we make your dose higher? Isn't the blocker working? I said, AJ, his name was AJ. Hello, mate, if you're watching. I said, AJ, I don't take them. I just stick them up here. Everyone does. I just put it up here, get out of the shop. I said, the last thing I want you to give me is something that's going to stop heroin working. I want something that's going to start heroin working, like heroin. And there are potentiators as well. If you ever need to I can't say that. I'll get in all sorts of trouble. Look up potentiators, though. No, don't do that. Sorry. Don't do drugs, kids. I'm serious about that. Oh, that's me in loads of trouble. But, so I've told AJ, I said I'll just stash it. Next time I get down the chemist, he goes, right. He goes, I've got your 12 mil. I went, yeah, nice one. He went, hang on. He's got out a pill grinder. And he's put it in it, which turns it into powder. Pill grinders exist for sort of disabled or elderly people or people who can't swallow tablets, because you can just put it in liquid and neck it. I'll tell you what, the idea of... and he's done it. And the thing is, though, long in the tooth junkies all used to have a BNF, the British National Formulary. It told you every drug under the sun, what its effects were, contraindications, indications, everything you needed to know about it, which was good because when you find a blister pack on the floor, and because you're a junkie, you walk along the streets looking down all the time, so it's quite regularly, you can get home and go, what is this? And flux and the fucking dexter the hackatoo. And you look it up, nothing. Causes drowsiness, dizziness, sedation, sweet. So that's why you have a BNF. And you read it and you study it because you're obsessed. And so he's ground up my Subutex, and I went, now. I said, it's very nice of you, Andrew. That was his name. Good bloke, actually, Andrew. Hello, Andrew, if you're watching. I said, that's very kind of you. I said, but if you read page 6 of the British National Formulary, 2002 edition, you'll see that it's actually illegal to change the form of a scheduled drug, which Subutex buprenorphine is. So for me to take that now would actually cause you to be breaking the law. He went, I'm trying to fucking help you. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want your help. I have to come in. He said, you don't have to come in. I said, I do, because if I don't sell that powder, I said, actually, can you give me a tablet? He was funny, though. Once when I used to take methadone before this ludicrous buprenorphine come out, they give you methadone in pill bottles. I know most of you have heard this, but for the 2 or 3 people who haven't, They give you methadone in, you know, those little brown tablet bottles. They take the lid off, they put your methadone into it. And I'm in there once, and there's loads of people in there queuing up because it was Dartford, and they're all sick and ill because they're undernourished. And it came to my turn. He went, Chris. I went, hello, Andrew. And he went out and he come back with my pill bottle of methadone. It's got a cocktail umbrella in it, a toothpick with an olive on it. And he went, something for the weekend, sir. You've got to give someone respect for going to the effort and in front of everyone. And, you know, they were probably just thinking, is this a bar? Is this some kind of drugs bar? Should really be like that, in fairness. If it was like that, if you just went there and got a brown paper bag that had a government stamp on it, diacetylmorphine, the Velvet Underground wouldn't write songs about it, and it wouldn't be the heroin. No one would be bothered with it. It'd be like going to the chemist and going, "Oh, mate, you ain't got any paracetamol, have you? Keep it on the QT." These Cats drops another $1.99 in. He's changed his name. Nice one, David. There you go. I didn't know you were. Thanks for the donation. The grift does keep the streams alive. That's why I've been streaming so much, because people have been being so generous. Big Lynn's dropped a lady. Thanks for the years of entertainment, Danger. Also, New Shoes is a banger. Yeah, that was going to be the single. What could have been? I didn't want to do it. I really appreciate it, and I agree. I love it. It's a lovely song. I wrote it. I sung it. Mumford done the music, though, which is also the highlight. You know, he's not great on his own. I'm not great on his own, but together we're shit. But I didn't want to be a pop star. I didn't want it, so I smoked crack instead. Cheers, Ben. On the same page as on the firm. 43. No, that's another show. Yeah, you thrown me there, man. 43. Did I say? I'm lost there on the same page. You regularly blind me with. I don't know what that means, but nice one for the donation. You feel free to clarify it with a normal comment, and I will keep an idea about it. I don't know what I will keep an idea about it means at all. Nice to see 115 people in here. Right, let's have a look at these before we get Barks in. And I will do, and you've got to hang around for this. It'll be a laugh. This is what I said to ChatGPT. Can you write some flirtatious lines I could use on a feminist? I think we had a look at a couple of these yesterday, but, you know, 24 hours. It's a long time in streaming. Yeah, let me know in the chat if we looked at these yesterday, and I'll take them off the screen and apologise. That one should do it. Al Mac said, I necked a mate's methadone once, lost the whole weekend. Awful shite. Well, it could have killed you, mate. But, you know, you're more of a stimulant kind of guy, so I can understand why that wouldn't be your cup of tea. VC says, not to be confused with Paolo Nutini's song, New Shoes. Oh, is there a Paolo Nutini? I like Paolo Nutini, though, weirdly. What's that? What's the famous one he done that's really nice? Someone tell me, because I really like it and I want to play it later. Right, let's have a look at these femmes anyway. So this is what we did look at these. Hello, Barry. Barry Sotero. Are you new in these parts, Mr. Sotero? Average Joe. Oi, now I saw you over on that other channel. You said, I'd like to see you do that, Chris. I didn't want to say there that, or were you being sarcastic? You realise that is me doing it. I know this is now a conversation between me and Joe. Joe was like one of the first 5 or 10 subs to this channel. Still here, man. Incredible. Thank you, Joe. That's very kind of you. You know that so you've been like here sort of, what is it, 8 years now? I think 7, 8 years, probably longer than that. I don't know. I don't care to know. I was a young man then. Good Lord. But thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was you. That's right. I knew it was, but I wasn't sure if you knew. Right, feminist chat up lines. Let's see if I can make them a bit bigger so you can actually see them. Nope. Oh, yes, I can. Right, here we go. I'll get myself off the screen. They might get a bit bigger. What's all that lark over there? These stupid computers. Hello, Pipe. Bloody hell. Where have you come from? Where have you been, more like? I miss the TV frame. Do you notice when other people use the TV frame, it's the same one I used? And I'll tell you why. When you go to Google and type in old television sets, that's the only one that sort of, it's weird. Put a one in the chat if you've seen the same telly I used on other YouTube channels. I've seen it about 10 times turn up. Because out of all the tellies in the world, that one kind of, it ticks a lot of boxes from like 80s telly box machines, High Priestess, Cathode Messiah. JP, we had the same upbringing, me and you. How you ended up in the damn military and I went to art school, I don't know. Same things, essentially. Yep, Joe has as well. Lovely. Hello, it's a duck. LC 350. Right. Hello, Otto. Have I said hello, Otto? I have now twice, but that's all right. Here we go. Can you write some flirtatious lines I could use on a feminist? Look at what it says. Certainly, when flirting with someone who identifies as a feminist, it's important to respect and it's important to be respectful and considerate of their values. Here are some flirtatious lines that maintain that balance, right? So this is what they suggest. Chat GPT, this is how you imagine approaching a feminist with these lines. Hello, Skin and Tonic. We've got another Skin in, so I will get the tonic in it. Hello, Spike. Spike did as well. Nice. He's seen the telly. Hello, Rags. Rags. Right, here, our first one. Hey there, your confidence and passion for equality are truly captivating. Mind if I join the ranks of those who admire you? Right. 2. Hi, I've always believed that strong individuals make the best partners. Your commitment to justice and your charm have definitely caught my attention. This is utopian idealism. This is it in a nutshell. This is the world they want for us. There's no humanity left here. There's no need here. There's no desire. It's not there. It's gone. This is just this is fluffy. It's fluffy. No one gets hurt. And when no one gets hurt, it's because no one takes risks. When no one takes risks, nothing changes. And that's why Francis Fukuyama's end of history is bang on. It's terrifying. Check this one out. Excuse me, I find intelligence and conviction incredibly attractive. And it seems like you've got both in spades. Care to share a thought-provoking conversation? Now, here's the weird thing. I'd done about 6 years at art school and fucked about 2,000 birds. And most of them were feminists. Most of them hated me. But when I went up to them at 11:30, last orders at the student bar, and went, should we go back to your place and have a fuck? I'd rather do that than walk home. They went, yeah, all right. And all the male feminists who were trying to get in their knickers, this is all this sort of stuff. I find you so, you've got a sort of a female strength that it's like Mother Nature that, it's in you, and it's like a burning ball of rage for change. And you could hear the feminists' fanny just sort of drying up and just sort of sealing. I had a threesome with 2 feminists. That's a story. That's its own story. That's its own video. I mean, I've had some wicked threesomes, but that one was wicked in the original sense. I'll tell you what, they started ganging up on me. I was thinking, no, this ain't how this works. No, take your finger out of there. All right, I'll make that video in the next fortnight. Someone remind me to do the feminist. Oh, it could be a Substack, though. I ain't put a new one up. Oh, I started writing a story about the day my nan died. Not mine. It is mine, but I didn't want you to know that. But I got halfway through it and I thought, hang on a minute. If any of my family get hold of this, it's tricky being a writer, man. When my novel comes out, and it will come out this November, I'm on schedule. My editor's just said, if it ain't done by November, I'm dropping you out. And because he dropped me out when he nearly died and went to rehab and had the triple heart bypass, I know what of a mess that left me in. So that's all good. But there's going to be problems, I'll tell you. Especially from the boyfriend of the girls, isn't it? It's amazing having a girlfriend that can't read English. I'll tell you what, I'm just sitting here on social media flirting with birds. My missus sitting next to me. Anyway, hi there. I can't help but be drawn to someone who's unafraid to challenge the status quo. Can we flirt with the idea of a coffee date where we exchange witty banter and progressive ideas? Terrifying. Utopian idealism. It's a place where people decay and yet there's no payoff. That's it. That's it. It's the gift of life hollowed out. You just don't get to do anything. You get the illusion of engagement, but everything the utopian idealists push at you is how to get less and less actual human contact. Look at mental illness. Oh, I've got anxiety. No, you haven't got anxiety. You're anxious. So there's something going on in your life that you haven't sorted out that needs looking at. And your mind and body is telling you that. Your psychosoma is telling you that. So use that amazing thing that is feeding you information. Oh no, the utopian idealists don't do that. They say, oh, here's a tablet. Because you've got the disease of anxiety disorder. They just put disorder on the end of anything. They're in the DSM. I've got to get it right, and I'll probably get it wrong, but it is words to the effect of antisocial behavior disorder. What? I mean, they even expose themselves with behavior. Antisocial behavior disorder. Well, it's either behavior or disorder. It's not. It can't be both. But that's not you. That's no agency on you. No, it's a disorder. And how do we stop that? You take this tablet. Did I tell you about Seraphim? So I think it was in about 2010, maybe. I might have that wrong. Somewhere like that. And a big company, I think it was the one they brought out a new drug. They brought out a new illness. I talked about it on this channel, didn't I? I showed you the video. Think you got PMT? No, it might be PMDD. And they run 3 different adverts for it for different parts of the female menstrual cycle, so that they could tap in to different, how a woman feels differently on her cycle. Ernest Dichter in the Hidden Persuaders, he was doing this in the 1950s. He was telling car companies to advertise products based on, not car companies, sorry, food companies, to do different adverts for the same product to target women at different points of their menstrual cycle. Feeling frustrated, feeling like you can't rest, can't relax, feeling like the world doesn't like you. Get some jelly. Same jelly. Suddenly feel like you've got a burst of energy and blah, blah, blah. Celebrate with some jelly, Anyway, so they brought out this drug, Seraphim. I told you this, but I feel like anyone who didn't hear it all, I'll do the short version. And they said they got loads of women in because in America you can advertise on television. And I showed the advert on the other stream. Oh, there was a woman like smashing the fucking what's it called? You put your food in it at the supermarket trolley. Is it on the trolley? And she was like, just couldn't get it out. And the woman next to her, like this hot blonde, was like, I've got no problem with my trolley. And she was like, you might need some seraphim. And seraphim is like it conjures up images of the seraphim, seraph, or what is it? Latus, what is it? And it's just Prozac, They just renamed it. There was hundreds of thousands of women in America on Prozac, and they didn't know it. Fluoxetine. Are you on Prozac? No, I'm on Seraphim. Yeah, that's Prozac. No, it's not, is it? Yeah. It's just a different name, different brand name. That's all right. Lovely. Anyway, we've got enough people here to get Washington on. Let me... Oh, why can't I see how many people are in here? Where's that gone? Joe, did I already thank you for that? Or is that another one? Up or down, I've thoroughly enjoyed you talking to me for years, Chris. Well, regardless, that was the one I read out before. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. You know, when there's been people here this long, it's amazing. There's you. There's a couple of others. Short Bus Mooner. I'm going to forget to name them, and they're going to think I forgot them. My head's just fucked. I've been working too much. Seraphim. That would make sense, wouldn't it? There you go, Marzipan. Exactly what I said. There you go. Cheers, Jessica. How are you, Jess? Ooh. Delta Trotska 125's dropped a Lady Godiva in. What if you have trouble tracing the roots of the anxiousness? Ask for help. You know, part of the atomization of Western civilization, the people in Western civilizations, is this idea that we just get things done ourselves, where the stronger man, the stronger person asks for help. You know, and we do have trouble. We all have trouble of tracing the roots of things like anxiety and depression, which you could also just call sadness. You know, but they're there. There is a talking cure that's been working for 140 years that you could try. Nice one on a donation. Right, Barkley's here. Let's get the lad on. He hasn't got a fucking clue why he's here. Barks! First question. Why have you gone back to the cowlick? When you had the old short back and sides, you looked like a young male model, but now you look like...
I haven't done nothing with my hair.
Sham done nothing with my hair.
Just haven't done nothing with my hair.
Look at him. It's so funny when he talks to me. We had a chat earlier, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to spin your chair around and show him your new toy?
Oh, you might have to change the way it's being displayed.
No, they can see it. They can see it. Look at that. He's got himself an old Joanna.
Straight off Facebook Marketplace. You can see how old it is because the keys are yellow.
Is it possible for you to zip your chair over there and give us a little bit? Don't go for too long because people get bored, but it'd be nice to hear a little bit.
Yeah, go on, I'll bank.
If you can't, don't. I'm always going to stand and play.
On Round by the Stranglers in honor of you, Chris, but it's literally just the first bar. Play for a Trick to Tell by Genesis. Amazing.
A
bit choppy, but that's one in progress.
How much does a piano tuner cost?
I actually don't want to get it tuned. I like how it sounds.
It's got a bit of that old honky tonk, hasn't it?
It does,
Tell
yeah.
you what, lovely Barkley, lovely, and you're teaching people, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I'm teaching my neighbour's kid how to play.
My glasses are screwed. I'll tell you what, you don't want to get old, Barkley, because you can't fucking read first. You don't wear glasses, do you?
I do, actually. I wear blue light blocking glasses.
Do you?
I do actually. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm thinking about it, like, oh, I should probably put these on, might help me sleep a bit better.
I haven't seen you wear them for about 4 months.
I do wear them. I was going to wear them on stream today as a joke, but I don't know where I actually put them. I also have my Dangerfield hat somewhere, but it's gone. Anyway, what's the next question?
Where's your blue glasses?
Where's my blue glasses? Okay, do you want to go hunt for them? Is that the game?
No, if you wear them on the regular, you would know where they were.
Sit on my desk.
Got them. He's got them. I owe you 20 quid. It's been 6 months to the day when we made that bet, you fucking bastard. Right, hang on. No, I'll give you that 20 quid. I'll give you that 20 quid as long as you're honest with me.
Mm.
Do you wear them?
I do wear them on occasion. I'm not going to say I wear them every day, but I do make a conscious effort to, at least 3 times a week, probably. But then it depends. When I'm doing something that requires me to see my screen properly, I won't wear them. That's the only thing.
I'll give you that. Damn. Look how serious he is. I thought I had you then. Did you see my little act? Oh, so do you wear glasses? I didn't want to outright go, do you wear glasses, Barkley? Because you might have put it all together. Damn, that fucking bollocks. Someone give me 20 quid to give to Barkley.
So
are they still working? You know it's a swizz, don't you? You know it is.
I don't know.
Like, Barkley, listen, let's be honest here. The money's in the bag, right?
Mm.
But when you first got them, it was something about depression and it's, you know, and all that lark. You were talking about
better sleep. Oh, wait, sorry, no. What are you talking about? Are you saying that did I say I felt depressed? I probably did, yeah. What did I say?
Let's have a look. Let's see what you said. And I'm asking you to be honest. Look at his face now. I saw it then. I saw the break. There you go. I love you, Barkley. You know I love you. Come on.
I love you too,
I've got it racked up here, son. Nice one, Anglo. Much appreciated. Hang on a minute. What's going on here? Right. Hang on. Nice one on the same page. You got to give him that, Barkley. That is funny.
Bailiff, more like I don't get it.
Oh, bailiffs take your stuff, didn't they? They come round and empty your house.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you on the same page. Thank you, Anglo. I've just understood what.
There's actually another joke within that joke, but that's an inside joke.
Yeah, no,
something Chris spoke about. It was a bit scary, but it was said that.
You can talk about it if you want, but I think maybe not. It's your call.
No, it's not worth talking about. It's just a bit of a freaky situation, but it's nothing too crazy.
Thank you on the same page. Thank you, Anglo. Yeah, I'll tell you what Barkley told me earlier. I'm not going to tell him, but the people that delivered his piano, I mean, you had one job to do. Stop trying to get 5 done. They're really just endlessly hassling him.
Yeah,
honestly. Do you want your roof tiled? Right, let's have a look at me and you chatting about your glasses a while back. Look me in the eyes, Barkley, and keep a straight face, knowing what we're about to do.
All right, well, look in the cameras or look in your screen eyes?
Yeah, there, right there. You're great.
It's easier to just look straight at you. When I'm looking at the camera, it feels so weird.
Do you hope that you say in this video you wear them to help you sleep better?
Because I must have mentioned them.
That 20 notes is about, it's like a paper aeroplane in a hurricane. Is it going to land on my...
If this was 6 months ago, 6 months ago, I was not feeling the best. So I can imagine I would have said I was feeling a bit depressed or so then. But, you know, things are slowly getting better.
Now you're making me feel bad in front of everyone. I get people write to me. They say, ease up on Barkley a bit, will you? Can you believe that?
Never going to happen.
They don't write to me. I was lying. They say dig in more. Barkley, I treat you as an equal and as a peer. That's why I don't. Don't you? Ask me age. Don't even know your fucking real name. Right, here we go. Let's see what he said 6 months to the day. This was on a stream called "Let's Talk About Your Anger." Call in. Look at his face. Look at what I'm wearing. Look at what you're wearing. Look at those bins.
Oh, that's a good irony outfit. That is.
Nah, irony outfit. What, yours or mine? On
Both.
the same page says, "Are you the same Barkley that was handing out leaflets and got done?" That is the same one. Yes.
That's a classic piece of modern nationalist law right there. Fair enough. Yeah.
It is so. It really is. As I always say, a healthy society would have been praising young people for being politically active, non-violently, and yet in sunny old England, they put you in jail. Thank you on the same page, and the answer is yes. Right, are you ready, Barks? Let's go. I'm going to have to mute myself, but we'll just play it through, and we'll see if it's a bit of sleep. And listen, people, I just want to say, credit to Barkley. I said to him, "Will you come on a stream for 5 minutes?" Literally 40 minutes ago. Well, shit, I've been talking for an hour. Jesus, about an hour and a half ago. And he was like, "What? This is a bit weird." I said, "No, it'll be all right."
40 minutes ago.
I didn't say to him, "No, I'm setting you up for the glasses chat." And so, lovely. Look, trust me, come on. Still here. Hasn't just gone, "Oh, fuck this. This is a bit of fun." That's all. I'm sure he's all right with it. He's a hardened young man. And I really do care about him, actually. So fuck you. Here we are. Here is him making a twit of himself. Talk to me, Barkley. What have you been up to? If you do some talking, I'll leave the glasses on. But this is my bet.
If you're seeing any blue through them,
we had to go back. We had to go back a bit because I've already got. Hang on. Right, it's going to be when you come on, isn't it? Here we go. And I'll miss that. And then I suddenly thought, hang on a minute, I can get Chat GPT to do this. And I can write this, exactly state, indicate. It might take GPT at one point, proofread mine. You said she'd rather die. Cheeky bitch. There you go. Don't you know how to put your mic on? Looked any better? Do you remember when he was about 12?
Chris, I do not want to watch this. There's no point. Hear me now.
I can hear you now. How are you? Now, please. Hang on, Barkley. Did you say you don't want to watch it?
Can you put it on 1.5 times speed or something like that?
Why? You don't what? Because of the glasses?
I don't like hearing myself speak. It's like feeling nails being dragged on a chalkboard. That'd be more pleasurable to hear.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something that's going to make you lose that fear immediately. To everyone watching and me, you sound exactly the same now as you do there. It's the same.
That's good.
Barkley, if you want me to stop it and not play it, I will. I don't want to put you through it.
Just put it on 1.5 times. That'll do me.
No, because then you get the comedy.
Just play it. Just play it.
If you want me to not play it, I won't play it. Last chance.
Go on.
Don't tell me those glasses are some kind of they stop certain frequencies getting in. No, I can see you. I don't. The scrubs can't see Walshy, but he's down below. And Barkley, come on, this is hilarious.
They work.
They don't work.
They do work. These aren't like the 15 quid crappy Amazon ones. These are the Autism Max ones that work.
Full-blown rip-off.
Full-blown rip-off, yeah. Well, they work.
Barkley, tell us about your glasses, my friend.
So these are some blue blocks. I got them as a recommendation from a YouTube channel, Seamland, which is this guy who just goes over all sorts of ways to preserve your body. Did he have an affiliate link to that? I don't think he did. But yeah, might do.
I'm a bastard. Of course he did. No one shields anything they haven't got on it. What's the channel called?
I can't remember. Grey Nose Bomb.
You lying bastard! You just told me.
I can't remember if they had an affiliate link. Stop trying to step over me, Chris. I guess every single time.
Oi, let's not come to fisticuffs, Barkley. But I can't punish you anymore with that. I can't. Do you still wear them though? Be honest with me, because if you lie to me, our friendship, which I value, I obviously value, what we spoke today, will be a lie.
Yeah, no, I genuinely do wear them. Not saying I wear them consistently every single night. Try to wear them. Try to keep track of having like blue light blocking something. If not, I'll put a filter on my computer. Always have it on my phone screen. If I'm like in bed using my phone, I always put my blue light glasses on just so I can sleep easier. Let's
be serious about it then. So what actually are they and you think they do? Because I've been here before. This is why it was, I'll tell you why it was funny for me. It was New Year's Eve. I was living in Leeds.
You could tell the same story you told 6 months ago. I said, isn't that your usual stream anyway?
I don't know what to say about that. Don't know what. How's your channel getting on?
It's going all right.
I'm telling it for the people watching, the polite, friendly community of people. Mm-hmm. I've gone into this boozer and there's this bloke. Yeah, look at Woodlander. Look, exactly. Look at the damage you've done to the community. At one point, you were central to it. Now just kicking a man when he's up. 22H, look. Yeah. Yeah, look what Barry said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Is it? I don't know what he's talking about. There you go. That's it. They're the They Live glasses. I not Lars, it's awful, isn't it? Exactly. That's how it felt. You know, the amount of things, you know, I look after him. Look what Neil Adams saying. Is that true? Are you too cool for me now, Barkley? Have you outgrown the glorious House of Scrubs?
Nah, never. Of course not. So I'm always here when there's a call in stream.
Look, there you go. There's the support. Rusky, don't you go putting bees in the chat, or I'll tell Barkley who it was that sent me the email saying it was 6 months to the day that you said Barkley wouldn't be wearing those glasses. So I've gone into a boozer, people, over Christmas, New Year's Eve. And there was this bloke, he wasn't a mate. He thought he was a pest. And he's got a pair of those glasses on. And I just obviously immediately took the piss out of him. And he went, they stopped certain rares coming through. They stopped me getting depressed and that. I went, oh, right, what? Did like an optician or something give you? And he went, no, it was a special offer in the back of the Daily Star. I was like, really? And he said, yeah, you had to fill in this form and they told you if you needed them or not. And it turned out I did. They're only 120 quid. And I was like, fucking hell. Then his missus come out the toilet and she had a pair on. I said, what? He went, yeah, Olive's got the same problem. So I cracked up. Barkley's got a pair 6 months ago. And then he went, yeah, my girlfriend wears them too.
No, it's Alec or Wesley who wears them, whichever name you want to call them by.
Okay. Well, does he do it as well?
Yeah, he wears them. Yeah, same brand as well. Not same brand. Well, yeah, same company makes more. We got them from the same site. That's what I was trying to say.
Same scam.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's run a poll. Let's run a poll in the chat. True story. I don't know what true story means. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Jared's on side. Right. Listen carefully. No, I can't, Jess. It seems wrong for old Wes to be wearing them. I mean, you know, Barkley looks like he's out of some 90s band that never were, but you're quite cool in them, though, in that over there. At least you haven't got a fucking mop on your head. Right, people. One, if you think those glasses do something medical, not placebo. Two, if you think it's some kind of blag.
So, well, you've just given like a case against you. You haven't let me give a case for him because I can tell you firsthand.
Okay, no votes.
If I put these on, the physical eye strain like instantly goes out. It's not a illusion if it's physically
but why didn't
tangible,
you
if you know
have
what I
them
mean.
on though? There you go. Why don't you wear them though now while you're looking at a screen? If they did,
It's not a good habit, or I just haven't got the habit built in. And you only really need them for like the last 2 hours before you're going to go to sleep. Because if you're like seeing a computer all day, constantly blue light glasses on, your brain's not being told that, oh, it's like daytime, you need to be awake. It's, you know, that's why it's good to not have them on constantly and stuff like that. That's the I can't give you the exact chemicals or whatever's going off, but essentially, if you have these on, it stops the blue light getting in. The blue light is what's telling you it's daylight or it's daytime. If you have them off, you're being told it's daytime. Which LED lights, I think filament lights don't do that. Sunlight does it, or LED lights from a screen will do it. So I'm repeating myself, but yeah, that's a vague explanation of why.
I'm trying to think if I ever done something similar.
Seems the same with having like a light on your skin, for example, when it's late at night. You know, it's still triggering something in your body to probably a lesser degree that you should be awake. The junkie glasses, yeah, that's true. So that's what someone said in the chat. You know, the time that I spent waiting for you to start, I was learning, trying to learn Golden Brown by I mentioned it earlier.
It's a lovely song, isn't it? Have you seen the Mexican version?
No, it makes heroin sound really appealing, to be honest.
Yeah,
a little harpsichord.
It is, yeah. I mean, heroin is appealing, but just don't do it because of that.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look at this, young Barkley. Let's just have a look at this from the Cleveland Clinic. Tell me what you think of this.
Google blue light blockers debunked. That's what he's just done. Google me right.
I absolutely didn't actually. This is what it says. Let's I just put in blue light. Do blue light glasses work? All right. Wearing blue light glasses may sound like a good solution, but a recent study determined there was little evidence to support the use of blue blocking filters in the prevention of digital eye strain. And then it starts talking about nonsense like circadian rhythms, your internal clock. There you go. This is an ophthalmologist. Can they help with eye strain? It may surprise you, but many eye issues that are caused by digital screens aren't due to blue light. Well, that's not interesting. It's not harmful to wear them all day, but they aren't effective in preventing digital eye strain. But there's no harm in it. It's only one page though.
Yeah.
Barkley, I think they're an absolute scam. That's mine. I'm sticking with it. But if you're being honest to me and you still wear them, I will get that money to you in 2025.
Okay.
How are you, mate? What's been going on? You know, stuff that's nice.
Well, stuff that's nice. So as you mentioned earlier, I've started teaching piano. I'm sorry, are we going to answer the question? You're going to ask me another one.
We were talking about relationships, weren't we?
Earlier, yeah.
So how old are you now?
19.
Wow, man. What's it like being 19 and negotiating your life? What's it feel like? Like, serious question. You know, what are the fears? What if I was to say to you, what are your biggest concerns? Not global and political concerns, but as an individual, what are the things that sort of concern you?
Discipline, stability, and purpose, I would say.
Let's go through them.
Direction, actually, as well.
Discipline. Oh, okay. Direction sort of brings all of those together, doesn't it? So, in terms of discipline, are you saying that you make plans, but you struggle with the discipline to follow them through?
Not just only that, but discipline of consistency, having a good. Having a good schedule, like waking up, having something to do. When you go, like I'd have to wake up and go to work. I'm trying to get a job, which I think will solve a lot of problems in many ways, because then there'll be a constant structure to build everything else around. But having a routine, generally having things to do. But without a job at the moment, it's very difficult. As well, I'm not consistently going to the gym. my diet's like on and off good. Like sometimes I'll be really keen on it, like doing it perfectly for ages, and then in recent times it's just been like drinking Coke all the time for whatever reason. I'm like purely addicted to it.
That's poison, man. Really, Harry's probably told you that 1,000 times.
I know. I know where Harry was. I am now Harry. Basically, I've now become the second Harry in many ways, except from I'm like Harry, but without the discipline, but with the same knowledge.
Because I was going to say to you, like, he's a good friend of yours. He's fucking ripped, isn't he, man?
Yeah.
Harry is ripped. I'm going to show people a bit of Harry. I'm sure he won't mind. That's why I wanted to get hold of him earlier, because I was going to put it in a video. And I thought he might not want me to. But people, have a look at Harry. It's quite funny, actually. I asked him to show us some moves, and he started doing.
I remember this.
Well, I don't know what I'm allowed to say about that part of things, so I was keeping that on the QT. But here, people, I can't show you too much of it because it's. But this is on the off chance you're watching, Harry. This is your last chance to tell me not to play it. This is TRU. What is it? Tommy Robinson
True
UK.
K. Yeah.
What do you make of that name, Barkley?
I think it's a really bad choice from an SEO perspective, which firstly I thought when I saw it. I think it's got good irony to it though, True K, because he always takes the piss when he will say something like, "Oh, that's so true," and he's like, if he ever says anything that's so true, he's not taking you seriously. He's told me that. And I've picked him up when he's like said so true to me in a conversation, like Harry. He did not just say so. I was like, no, I didn't mean it like that though.
Right, hang on. I'm having a look. Andrew said to Emma, sharp, classical, very nice. And Emma said back to him, indeed it is. Good Lord. Right, people, let's have a look at a bit of Harry. Because I'll tell you why, I've done a stream the other day, and the message of the stream was really not to compare yourself, not to compare how you feel with how other people appear. Because it's something we do, everyone does it. It's hard, it's hard not to, but you should strive for it. And when I saw this video, I thought, I'll tell you what, if I was hanging around with Harry, I'd be thinking, shit, man, he's fucking ripped. He's properly done it, hasn't he? Have a look at this, people. So you now know what, and Harry's taught you all about it, has he? How to get like this.
Harry got me into a lot of things that snowballed and compounded in many ways to improve my life. Like he's the one who got me into music, into piano. Like, something my dad got me lessons for when I was 7, but when he passed away, I stopped doing it, but I'd practice it here and there. And then Harry just basically taught me a few scales, and from there I got like obsessed with it. Honestly, piano, as of now, is probably the thing I've been most consistent with in my entire life, practicing piano. And in about a year, I've gone from being able to play What Shall I Do with a Drunken Sailor to Tony Banks, A Trick of a Tale, because it's just something that I'm just dead passionate for. So I'll actually put the time in for it.
I think every time we've spoken over the last 6 months, you've talked about piano and played something.
My dad was a self-taught pianist to a really excellent degree. He's taught himself how to play Fifth by Genesis on piano. Real Genesis fans will understand how epic that is. But, taught himself to play. But he in Rhapsody, he could just do it all. Same with drumming. He was an excellent drummer. Used to be in a band. Same with guitar. He used to be able to play what's called Blood on the Rooftops by Genesis. I only know fragments of, what people say. Oh, your dad could play this song, So,
how old were you when he died?
9.
Do you remember it? You remember him, do you?
Yeah.
Do you miss him?
Every day.
Yeah.
Think about him daily.
It's not even like that, is it? It's permanent. He's always there, right? Yeah, I know that feeling. People say that. Think about your dad, and it's like, it's not a question of thinking about him. It's almost like I am him. It's where there's no disconnect there. It's just, I don't sort of.
Yeah, that you gave me a chill down there, my spinal silex. That's how I see it as well. So I think I know exactly what you mean.
And that must have been really, really difficult. Was it quick?
It was very sudden. He it was just the day after his birthday. He had a headache, just walking up the stairs, collapsed. By the time he was in the ambulance, they knew he wasn't coming back. Like, no chance at all.
Wow. I mean,
Would have been totally a vegetable if he was lucky.
That, you know what? That's what my dad got ill, then went into a coma, and then died. It took about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And I remember I was 16, and my mum sat me and my brother down, and she said, "There's a chance that he'll live, but he'll be paralyzed from the neck down." And my mother said to me and my brother, she said, "I don't want that. I don't want that." And I just wanted to ask you two, because, you know, there's a chance they're going to ask me a question. Awful, isn't it? Awful. So much to take on at 9 years old. Wow. When you hear people talking about their fathers, do you get a bit weird about it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that really bothers me the most is that so many of my friends complain about their dads. They're like, you'll hear ones that say, "Oh yeah, my dad's a fucking junkie piece of shit. Yeah, he walked out, blah blah blah." But it's like, my dad, you know, he had his own business. He played piano. He was he was a great handyman. You know, in my loft upstairs, you know, when I was a kid, my dad got with this new woman who's a total bitch. But she had 3 kids. I don't know what my dad was thinking, but, you know, I guess I get that trait from him. So I had 2 stepbrothers and 1 stepsister. Me and my 2 stepbrothers, we had to share a room. So there's 3 of us in one room. And, you know, my dad and my family always could tell I was a little bit different. You know what I mean? Growing up, like, in certain ways. So
autistic.
I was, yeah, they always could sort of tell. So my dad, for the sake of my own, you know, sanity and for my happiness, he converted our loft room into, you know what a loft looks like when nothing's been done with it. He fully converted it into being like a functional bedroom for me. And
wow.
Yeah, you know, like, you know, all nice insulation, all painted, you know, green walls because that's my favorite color, orange carpet because I made a stupid decision when he asked me what color I wanted. And, you know, it had like a little, you know, area where there was a safe, and there was a bit where you could open up the side so you could put stuff up easier. And there was a beam going through it to support the loft, which I'd like decorate. You know, I'd put all toys on and stuff like that. I had my gaming chair there, my bed. You know, I had a little table where I had my TV and my Xbox. And to be fair, I still use that room to this day. It's that's where I put my drum kit now. So I'm always up there. But the you know, it just shows how much he cared for me, really, because it's hard to think like how much work and time and money that would have taken him, how much planning, and he did it all just to make me a little bit happier while staying with him for the 1 day a week or every other weekend.
It's brutal, isn't it, man? Like I've often said to friends who complain about their father, I say to them, listen, he's a human. He's not just your father, so he's going to make mistakes. But for fuck's sake, build a relationship with him. And they just don't. They just say, "Nah, he's a fucking weirdo." You know, they ring him up like once a month. "You all right?" "Yeah." And then I've got other people who go to the football with their old man, you know, and go to the boozer with their dads. And I think, oh, fucking hell, man. I was just getting to that age, you know. I'd have like half a lager with him at the house. But
it's not just missing memories, it's missing skills and talent as well, and, you know, missing health I would have had growing up, because, you know, if my dad was still around, he wouldn't have let me get so out of shape like I was when I was younger. If my dad was still around, a trick of a tail, I'd be playing anything on piano by now, because he would have kept me consistent with it, because he was always pushing me to do that sort of thing. And not only that, he would have taught me, you know, some level of carpentry. He would have taught me all these fundamental skills that I would need as an adult, which I don't have now. And it's one of my, you know, it's one of my biggest insecurities. I remember I messaged you quite a while ago, a few months ago, saying about all those sort of things I felt I missed my dad. But then it's not just that. You know, my dad, you know, my favorite band is Genesis. Absolutely love them. It's my dad's favorite as well. And
you've always got to say early Genesis there.
Early Genesis.
Yeah. Really
cut off points, seconds out. Don't really listen to much after that. But, you know, some good stuff on free. Then they are free. But
go on, sorry, carry on.
And, you know, I think, you know, I missed out on getting to listen to Genesis with him which I know that's going to sound like a really odd thing to pick up on, but it's not. Just imagining that memory of being able to be with my father, listening to, nursery crime for the first time, listening to stuff that's ready. He used to be a lot like me. He'd sing along to all this music. He'd learn to play it. And, being able to just for like one day be able to like just sit there, have an afternoon with him, or anything like that, just listening to Genesis and just having that bonding I should have had would have been great. And I even was looking at some Facebook profiles of my family on my dad's side. Someone else who had passed away, my granddad, and I look at some tribute another family member did where I was like, I remember listening to this for the first time, and it was a picture of a kid putting Selling England by the Pound in a vinyl player. And it's like I missed out on that with him. No one else in my family stepped in to do it with me as well. So it's all pretty fucking gutting, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. It's traumatic. Barkley,
the lack of care from from his side of the family for the most part as well. It's the most upsetting. It sounds harsh, but
no, I get that. I understand that. I know you're still relatively young, but it was what? So 10 years ago.
It'll be 10 years in a few months.
When you look back, do you see? I don't want to put words into your mouth here, but
I'll be honest with what you say. I'm not going to try to twist it.
Are you aware of the changes in you because of the loss of your father? Is there kind of like a pre-death and an after-death, or has it been more of like a gradual? You've just adapted to the new situation over time.
How do I answer that? Of course, I would have been a lot happier before he passed away, because I remember I would spend all my time with him. But after he died, I think I definitely became quite selfish, and I think a lot of it will stem from having that sort of trauma. You become quite disassociated, and to many degrees now, I'm trying to figure out how bad the disassociation is, because it's still quite bad sometimes. Like, did you know what I mean by disassociation?
Yeah. Explain it, because it might be different. It might be nuanced.
It's like I feel like essentially I live in my own head for most of my life. I lived in my own head, and I just felt like I was sort of watching life happen through my own eyes. Like I didn't feel like I had much control. I didn't feel like I was consciously doing most things that I was doing. Even if I was thinking, like, just none of it felt real. Like even now when I'm on stream and stuff like that, like I don't feel almost like a real person. When I'm talking, it doesn't feel like I'm talking. Like, even if I'm doing all these natural instincts, it just all seems like there's just something not there. It's really hard to explain, but I don't feel like
no. That's what I was going to say. It's like a sense of lack.
Yeah,
like loss. It's loss, isn't it? It's loss. We're talking about your father. For a man, there's no more significant figure in your life. Even if you've never met them, that will affect you more than anything. If your old man ran away before you were born, that absence, that abandonment is gonna define your life. Now, you can change that later on in life, but it's no small thing that you lost your father at 9 years old. And then, what's that? You're only looking at a couple of years and puberty, and fuck me, man, that must have been difficult, really difficult.
Yeah, life was pretty much a nightmare for me, to be honest, until I'd say, because of course, like I'd say at 9, I was a pretty happy kid at that point. I was doing well in school. I was doing things. I was playing piano. I was playing duets in assembly, for example. My daddy, he family told my nanny. She told me a story about how when I first started doing piano lessons, how she came to him. He went to her and he said like, he's musical, Mum. He's musical. Like how much joy and pride he felt. But I've never really had anyone take a sort of interest of like being proud of me ever since. To be honest, other than my nanny. My nanny's an angel, because my nanny is a sort of last connection I have with my dad. So she kind of emulates some things that he would have, and she pushes me in the right direction. She knows what he was like, and she sees interest in quite a lot of me and him, I don't think she forces it either.
It's I really identify with that feeling of people not having an interest in you, not knowing you, not caring. Because my mother, practically wonderful. You know, we had very little money, but she got my packed lunch made. She got my school uniform, you know, relatively clean, but emotionally, completely unavailable. And so there was no one ever in my life after my dad died who was like, what have you been doing? How's this going? Are you enjoying that? Or look at something I'd written or done and said, oh, you know, that's great. You know, that's good. What you've done something good. I don't have that in my life. I didn't have it since my dad died. And you've just explained much the same thing. And I think, you know, that won't ever leave because it's so significant. What will change is how you deal with that feeling. Do you know what I mean? You know, but you can't, there's not much you can do about something so profound.
Yeah. There's I know that there's always like, you know, the rare glimpse where maybe you'll have a dream where he's there, but, you know, I have them like once every few years. And other than that, you know, I remember how much like these like freaky, like elaborate schemes I'd have in my head of like how we could still be alive and stuff like that. Yeah. Where it'd be like, it's like, oh my God, what if he's in witness protection? Like he saw some sort of mafia deal go down, you know, they had to like flee him to like Cuba or something, like really bizarre stuff. I'd just be like schizophrenically pondering over every day, walking back from school in the exact same places, always the same thing on loop.
Around the time of the death this was?
Years later.
Wow.
When
you died, did you dream a lot then?
I mean, I've always pretty much dreamed a fair bit, but I didn't dream much of him.
But about your dad, I mean.
I don't think so.
I had a lot of dreams for about a year to 2 years afterwards where my dad was not dead, but he wasn't alive. Quite frightening. And they were usually there was like a big building in the cemetery. And I'd be in there. You know what dreams are like. You just appear somewhere. And he'd be there, but he'd have no pupils, so his eyes would be white, and he'd really gaunt. Yeah, and but not scary because I was 16. You know, you don't really have nightmares when you're 16. You sort of understand it. But I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they'd be like, "Well, this is where they put people who are, you know, nearly dead." You know, it's sort of like they get them out of the hospital, and that was a recurring dream. But I don't dream a lot about him now, but when I do, it's always there was a misunderstanding and he's back in our lives, you know, and it's like, oh no, he didn't die. You know, there isn't any explanation, but I understand that, oh no, it was just a confusion. And then we'll be around Yvonne and Trevor's where we used to go with all their kids, Tracy and David and Julie and Karen, and you know, Freud, grand old father Freud, you know, dreams are a wish fulfillment. So that, you know, it's as basic as it gets. You know, I would rather him still be alive.
So excuse the smoking indoors. I have a window open. It's just because I'm getting a bit, you know, stressed enough to need to relax a little bit. Sorry. Yes, I'm doing it in your jacket before you complain.
You know, nicotine increases your heart rate and makes you relax less, but
yeah, I know, but it's the physical action of smoking that's calming.
No,
I've had two.
Smoking's nice. If you want to do it, you can smoke. You don't have to.
Yeah, menthol as well, lovely. But so anyway, I've had.
We used to smoke them as kids so that our mum couldn't smell it on our breath, and she'd go, "Have you been smoking?" I go, "No, it was Polos." More menthols. Like they're only about half centimeter long. Anyway,
so
go on.
That's a good little emotional breather. So I've had two dreams about my dad really since he died, just the ones that stuck out. And the first one I can remember, because I remember like the structure of what happened on the day he passed away. Because I remember how it was, I woke up for school and my mum said, I'll can't be bothered to take you to school today, Kai. Don't worry about it. You know,
sorry. Apart from doxing yourself, is this a dream or is this
public.
what happened?
This is what happened, but it's
okay.
It's relevant to the story.
Sorry.
So you know, I'm sitting there. I just played Minecraft all day on my Xbox 360, and my mum, you know, she came in at one point. She said, you know, your dad's in hospital, but you know, he's going to be okay. Blah blah blah. Don't know if she knew then he wasn't, but that doesn't matter because that's what you would have said anyway. Surely, you know, you don't want to sit there and tell your son like, yeah, you know. But later on in the day, I remember I got called downstairs. You know, I walked to the living room, and as soon as I saw my nanny and granddad, who normally live in Spain, there, I already just knew. You know, my uncle was there, my sister was there, and I remember my uncle looked at me. He said, "You know, he just went, I'm so sorry, mate." And you know, from that, I already knew what had happened. In my dream.
Hang on, sorry, Barkley. I mean, if I ask anything you don't want to answer, just say I don't want to answer it. Obviously,
that's right.
But you know, as a 9-year-old, I can't imagine, unless you had any kind of neglect or abuse before then. This was like, you know, did you have a relatively normal childhood up till then?
Other than my mum and dad splitting up, that'd be about it.
Yeah, okay, so that's quite big though still. But suddenly, like you said, you waked up, you're playing Minecraft, and then the family's there, and you said you knew it. That's like a wrecking ball of reality that's just shattered your life.
Yep.
And what happens there? What do you do? What did you do? What, you know?
I mean, well, yeah, I just spent time with the family, just like basically just in tears. And even then, it's kind of funny how this has always been something I did. But I remember, even on the night he died, I made some jokes like the situation because in my head I thought, you know, I could use his debit cards and credit cards because we were talking about getting me one when I was like, oh, I could use. I was like, oh, well, you know, right. So I guess I can use his cards now, like making a joke out of it. Which I don't know if that might be where it started. It probably is, but there's a similar thing that happened at his funeral actually. But yeah, then anyway, should we go on to the dream?
You're cool.
Oh, that was the hardest bit. I've done well so far. You know, look at these eyes. But anyway, moving on. So in the stream, bear in mind, by the time I found it there, it was nighttime. So the stream is, I believe it would have happened when I would have been around 15, maybe 16, maybe 17. I couldn't really tell you when, to be honest. It was a few years ago now. And I remember I went downstairs and I see all my family in the same positions. But I looked outside and I looked out the window and it's daytime. And I see my dad walking down the road, which is like, what? So, you know, I rush out the house and I run up the street, turn around the corner, I find him. And, you know, I just say to him, you know, I know this isn't real. I know it's just a dream, but, you know. Get a quick nicotine hit. I know this isn't real. I know it's just a dream. But, you know, I love you and goodbye. And
wow.
Just hugged him.
And you knew it was a dream? Wow. Were you asked if you wanted to see the dead body? Or did you see the body?
No.
I was asked and I said no. I said, I'm not interested. And I don't regret that at all. I don't regret it at all. I'm not interested. There's nothing, is it? So what? I mean, I'll tell you, it's a little bit light-hearted, but you know my best friend Paul Mumford. We were tripping. There's a party every year. You and Harry should get down there. Actually, it's down just outside Totnes, which doesn't bode well. It's called the Weirdos Ball. And it's right in the middle of mushroom season, and there's just like mushroom punch, you know, gallons of it, and they just ladle you out, and every ladle's got like 100 mushrooms in it, and you just you know, you've done about 500 of these fuckers, little psilocybins, and we were in the.
Laughing at, I hope you weren't diddled comment, man. That cheered me up. No, I wasn't diddled. That was one thing that I luckily did that didn't happen to me at any point.
Well, I had a bit of that, so you know. So we're at the Weirdos Ball and we're tripping our nuts off, and we're in the Portaloo, and it's only me and Paul in there, and there's 2 urinals, and we're having a piss. And I said to Paul, I said, "Do you ever think about your dad when you're tripping?" And he fainted. He went. He said it was really weird. He went down onto one knee, all sort of, and then he just sort of hit the deck. And I don't say that just to lighten things up, but you know, the relationship between a man and his father is so, you know, it's so significant. You know, if just reminding him that he had a father was enough to, you know, put him out. He just didn't want to go there. Didn't want to.
Had his passed away or
No, not at all. But he's difficult. It's a difficult relationship. Not my place. Not really my place to talk about it here. But you know, it was interesting. You said you cried your eyes out. I didn't cry for 7 years.
About your dad?
About my dad, no.
Was it? Can I ask? Is it because you saw the process of him dying? You'd already grieved. Okay.
I'll tell you what. That's a lie. Actually, there was the bit. You know, when someone's dying, that's when social kind of niceties and all that really. That's the wrong way of explaining it. Hang on. So we're all sitting there. He's in a coma, and they've pretty much said to us, he's going to die. He's going to die. And my mother, now, you know, don't forget they'd been together then for about 35 years. I think. I can never really work it out. And she was like, she had his hand on her finger, right? He hadn't said anything for like 5 days. He's in a coma. And she'd be like, Alan, can you hear me, Alan? Can you hear me? The boys are here. Can you hear me? And then she'd go, squeeze my finger if you could hear me. And I was just thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, you know, and it's not my place to judge my mother's, how she's coping with her husband's death. That's not, but at the same time, I just thought, I don't want you to be doing that. And I don't get to make that decision or choice. And then when he did squeeze it, she'd be like, he squeezed my finger, he knows you're here. And then at one point, his face, she kept doing it. She kept going, squeeze my finger if you can hear us. You know, because she didn't know what to do. And I'm not blaming her, I'm not getting at her. And he went like this, like he hadn't said anything for like I say, a couple of weeks. And he went like this. He went like this. He went. And I just thought, yeah, I bet it's absolute frustration and agony. And it's all you're getting is squeeze my finger. And when the nurse said, you've got to go now, I mean, which is a weird thing, you know what? When someone out here dies, you know, they're at their house with 30 of their family around them until you've got to fuck off now. Why? Why? My dad's dying. What? I've got to go. Okay, weird. And I said, can I just have a couple of minutes on my own with him? A couple of seconds. And they said yes. So my brother and mum went out. And I said to him, I didn't know what to say. And I said, this is fucking bad. And as I said fucking bad, I broke. And I cried like it was almost like I just opened the valve a bit. I it wasn't a weeping tears, but it's just like on, off. And that was the last thing I said to him. But there's, I was very cynical at the time. I was already losing faith in society. I was losing faith in everything I'd been taught. I was understanding the world around me. I was becoming a man. I was turning from a child into a man anyway, which is, that sort of sort of post-puberty phase. And I was a late developer anyway. I didn't go into puberty till I was like nearly 15. So it was difficult time, like everyone has a difficult time around then, usually a bit earlier. But I was on acid the night before the funeral.
Okay.
And we were, all the market cleaners were cleaning up all the shit at the market. The market, it was about 6 o'clock in the morning and all the dust vans were coming down. They were cleaning the streets and all that. And we were looking at them and cracking up because we were on acid, and it's funny when humans do things when you're tripping. But the next day, we've got all the hearses and all the cars, and I had to carry the coffin, not on my own, obviously, but I was one of them, and I was quite happy I wanted to do that. I wanted to be one of the people doing that. There was you couldn't get in the church. There was even people outside. He had a lot of people knew my old man, and that was lovely. That really meant a lot to me. And the fact they bothered to turn up as well, And
I've got a similar thing to that.
We got up to the cemetery. The first thing was when he's opened the car door and he's gone, "Mind your head, sir." And I just thought, this is, and then to my brother, "Mind your head, sir." And, I just sort of thought, this is, what I don't want now is artificial culture industry shit. I know that sounds weird.
No, I get exactly what you mean.
Get in the car, I'll get in the car. "Mind your head, sir. Mind your head, sir." I just thought, fuck off. And we've got in the cemetery, not the whole church, it was left, that was just close family and friends. And you've got the people in those black gowns. Did you have all that? Now, there was 4 of them, if I remember rightly, with the straps that go around the coffin and they lower it. I don't know if you had a similar burial.
No.
The blokes that lowered my dad's coffin and my dad into the ground were the same blokes who were cleaning up the shit in Dartford town centre because they're council workers. And I know them because they've been doing it for years. I recognise their faces, their gold sovereigns, their tattoos. And I couldn't help but think, look at that. Look at how the sort of, what would the word be? What's it called? The production line of death. These blokes work for the local council and they clean up the rubbish. And here they are just cleaning up the rubbish. That's what I thought. And I just thought, there's something wrong with this planet. This should not be the case. There should not be strangers. There should not be blokes who clean up shit putting my old man in the ground. It just shouldn't be the case. Now, in retrospect, was I focusing on that to avoid feeling things that I should have done? Probably, yeah.
Similar with me. So the day of my dad's funeral, because he was going to be cremated anyway, but we still had a coffin just for sake of it. Sorry, I'm skipping the story there. So my dad
had like a symbolic empty coffin.
I think so. Maybe I'm not sure if he'd been cremated before or after, but there was a coffin there.
Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah. Sorry, that was mental of me.
Okay, so my dad.
1 second, Barkley. Sorry, I will deal with those super chats. They're really appreciated, but it's a good conversation. I'm appreciating letting it flow. Go on, mate.
So my dad, this isn't some crazy hard information to find, but he was a taxi driver, and he had his own taxi company, and he'd been a taxi driver for probably, when he died, 20 plus years. So a lot of the old taxi drivers knew him. Like, he was friends with the people who owned all the other local companies. And, the day he died, they had a massive tribute from all these different taxis. Like, I was actually speaking to one of my neighbors about this the other day, because she was the person who recorded that. And she was telling me how she was basically standing at the end of our road for about 15 minutes just recording all the taxis going by. And then not only that, outside the... I was actually taken to his funeral in one of his first taxis he ever owned, an old Metro cab, which was interesting. So, so it's one of my nannies. I think he used to always pick my nanny up or something like that. I remember her telling me. So, I get taken to the funeral, and then, just as the funeral's going on, you see like this constant convoy of taxis going past. Like, God knows how many there were, but every single taxi company in the local area, because there were quite a lot at the time, were always were sending people to go down and just go past to pay respects. The room was completely full. So that was like the wholesome tribute part.
It means something, doesn't it? It means something to have people like go to your funeral, your dad's funeral. Yeah, I get that.
Just a little tangent quickly, because of his long presence in being a taxi driver. If I ever get a taxi, first thing I always ask him is how long you been a taxi driver for. If they say more than 10 years, say, did you ever work for this company? Or I say, did you know my dad? Which it's not often, but probably about 1 in 8 times it's a yes. It's more often. Literally, last time I got a taxi, the guy used to work with my dad, and he was telling me like this crazy story about how back in the day, if there was ever a taxi driver getting grief or anything like that, the controller would tell all the other taxi drivers, and like Satsky and Hutch, they'd all like start rushing him to get there, and they'd go kick the shit out of the guy doing it. And so I was giving my dad some grief one night near the cathedral, and probably about 20 odd taxi drivers rushed down to go and save him, which just sounds crazy. And the guy is telling me, oh yeah, your dad, I remember when he was playing in bands, he used to do bar nights, do these Genesis covers. So it's just so like amazing because he still lives on in spirit through that. So it's great to it's just always so nice to hear it. But in many ways, it's almost like a desperate thing on my part. I think it's a very desperate attempt to find any connection to him I possibly can. Yeah, I was going to be looking at it from a cynical level, but I'm clever enough to know what I'm doing.
Because I washed up back at my mother's house so many times, I'd end up going like to Sainsbury's or whatever with her and bump into old family friends. And give me 1 second, because I think you might have missed it when I showed it. It shouldn't take too long to find. If it does take too long to find, I won't bother. Oh, bollocks. No, I can't find it now. That's a terrible shame. Oh, yes, I can. So, I'm the absolute spitting image of my old man. Like I'll show you now. This is... Oh, I got the wrong photo. No, I don't know where it is at the moment. But when we'd go down into Dartford and we'd meet up with like old friends like in Sainsbury's, and someone would go to my mum, she'd go, "Oh, Jan, I thought that was Alan then for a minute. He's the absolute spit of your Alan," and I'd love it. I'd just love it. And then I'd start talking to him or whatever, and they'd say, "Oh, and he's just the same as Alan." And it meant a lot to me. It meant something to me. I need, like you said, looking for anything to sort of have some kind of connection.
I know literally the exact same thing you said, because whenever my nanny says, "Oh, like how, like it'd be things like how I'd like say hello." She's like, "Oh, you remind me of your dad. Then you sound exactly like him," and it's just always like you get such like a dopamine rush whenever you hear stuff like that, or I think in many ways also try and emulate him. And I don't try and emulate him just to like, I think there's a small part of me, maybe it's a bigger part than I'd care to admit, where I want to emulate him so people tell me that I'm like him, because he was like such a loved man. Like there's no one's ever said a bad word about him because of just how he was. He was literally just an amazing guy. But
no, you see, I have so that's where it gets interesting, because when
just quickly to finish off, when I'm playing piano, for example, I remember my nanny came around my house for what was the occasion? It might have been a random dinner. It might have been for, I think it was for Mother's Day actually. I got my nanny to come over, and I played her Lilium on piano, which is it's a song from an anime which people might think is silly, but if you listen to it, it's clearly heavily European inspired. It's operatic. It's a beautiful song. And seeing her cry and then saying just keep going, do it for me, and knowing that I made her feel that proud because it was like her watching my dad do it again.
Yeah,
and there's almost like some level of there's some level where it's like it's just a lot of it's just because I want to make her happy. A lot of it's because and then a lot of it is because, you know, I want to hear that I'm like him.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, I check this photo. This is my mum and dad's wedding. Hopefully it'll focus.
Oh yeah, I can see it from a mile away. What?
It's madness, isn't it?
That's ridiculous. Yes. When I was like younger and more pudgy, I looked a lot more like mum because my dad had a quite dark hair, but we had the same eye color. But of course, I get my blonde hair from my mum, and so yeah, me and my dad. It's like now if you look like my face, we have very similar faces, but people always say I look like mum because well, it's whatever. But I don't want to hear. I want to hear I look like my dad because that sounds more masculine.
Yeah.
But I've got to.
It's a weird thing that for years I thought that I took after my old man, and people told me I did. And almost reluctantly, over the last sort of 5 years, I realised that I've actually got a lot of my mother's traits. And, you know, my mother died just recently, and, you know, because of that emotional unavailability, it's been a very different experience. And I'm a lot older, you know, and she was a lot older, but yeah. And I think my mother, I don't know, actually. I think she knew that a father means more to a son than a mother. I think she just knew that. And that's difficult to live with because she was left with the shit, you know. She'd been a housewife. And the year my dad died, me and my brother, the year before, my brother fucked off to university. And this was in the days when clever people went to university. And my mum and dad saved up every penny they had just to get us, you know, in. And I was scheduled to go to art school like a month after my dad died. And I said, look, I'll fuck it off. And my mum went, no, not a chance. She said, we didn't work and, you know, raise you to throw it all away now. But so my mum, in the space of 2 months, went from a housewife with a husband and 2 kids to a woman living on her own who had to go and work. You know, mad. What a dramatic change for her. Barkley, I'm going to wrap this up now. Is there anything else you want to say about
I could have gone for a lot longer, but
I know, but it's 3:15 in the morning. I've been working since midday.
Yeah.
You know,
I was going to say, I've got a picture of my dad as well. It's one from when he's quite young. So he's a bit older than, he's a bit older than me by a few years.
Bless him, Barkley. What a nice lad.
Early mid-20s, maybe. But I'll say, I'm not joking when I say this. I'm being 100% serious because the amount of times I've had this interaction, woman, get a towel, get some tissues, all right? Because I know, and by the way, my Telegram is at STKAI Anglo. If you want these genetics in your bloodline, this is what my dad looked like. There you go.
No way. Like a proper rock star.
Yeah.
Well proud. Look how proud you are. Look at you loving your old man. Amazing. Barkley, it's been, you know what a laugh. I come on to call you out about that the glasses, and we've ended up probably having one of the best chats we've had on a stream anyway.
The best one. I don't know why I've always had it in my head that I wanted to do this stream with you anyway. Just talk about our dads. It's always been something that interested me. Yeah.
I think it worked. I think it worked better organically though, because if we'd have planned it, I'd have started thinking of what to say. Whereas I haven't had that opportunity, and nor have you. Should we play Harry to just as a little palate cleanser?
Can I finish my story? Because we actually went. I know we always we go on massive tangents. So just going back to the tree. So going down the tree back to when I was at the funeral. So you mentioned how you started picking up on like silly things to distract yourself. Well, that's, you know, what you speculate could have been. Maybe it's what it was. But I remember, you know, as it was time for the, you know, funeral procession to end, the song "Ripples" by Genesis started playing, and I'm sitting by my nanny, and she starts crying, and I really wanted not to cry at the funeral for some reason. I always had this thing about her not crying, and I think because of having that happen, so a lot of emotional stuff doesn't affect me in the way it should probably. Like, it doesn't affect me in a normal way, but as Ripple starts to play, which
Hang on, whoa. What? Before the death, after the death, or just your life in general?
What did I say?
I don't
sorry,
really know what you mean there.
So, wait, what did I say? Sorry.
Emotional things don't affect you in the way you think they should.
After.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah. Because you close the door. You will open it again though, because you'll have to.
I think I'm getting there. There.
So,
but I don't know if you guys have heard "Ripples" by Genesis. That's your homework. I've poured my heart out in this song, in this stream, so you'll have to listen to it after this. It's a classic 8-minute long Genesis song, so don't be a zoomer. Have the attention span. Listen to it all. Put your headphones on. Good headphones. If you like Jess, you like vinyl, go get the album A Trick of a Tale. Be proper about it. Be respectful. But anyway,
get spiritual.
So,
go on.
So as Ripple starts playing, it's got a quite binding guitar bit at the start. It's got very emotional lyrics, very somber from the get-go. My nanny turns to me, she starts crying, and I give her a hug and I give her a kiss, and I say, "Oh, nanny, I can feel your whiskers," which is what I used to always say to her when I was a kid. When she'd give me a kiss, just to try and bring some light to the situation. She laughed, and probably made things just a little bit easier for her. That's something that's oddly stayed with me ever since. Just doing that sort of thing, and of course what I said about day he died. Yeah, there you go. That's me done.
Hang on.
Are you playing it? Play as the outro song. Go on, Chris.
I can't. I'll get yeeted. I'm just going to play a little bit of it.
Blue girls come in every size.
Whoa.
Some are wise and some otherwise. They got pretty blue eyes. For now a man may change. For now her face looks strange. Looks strange. Looks strange. Marching to the promised land, where the honey flows.
I'm afraid that's all I can risk, or they'll yeet the end of the stream. I do love. I mean, that's a bit late for me, but Nursery Crime, Foxtrot. There's one more. What's one of those other early ones?
Justice Revelations,
The
Trespass.
first one when they
Trespass is so underrated. I love it.
That from Genesis to Revelation, when fucking what's his name was diddling
Anthony Phillips. Oh no, what's his name? John Kingston or something.
He used to be a DJ when I was a kid. But yeah, from Genesis to Revelation is amazing. What's that song? Music, all I hear is music. Da, 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 da. And we love the ones we love. Oh, amazing. They were 16
Genesis one?
When they recorded that. Yeah, it's on Genesis to Revelation.
I never probably listened to that one. Though Noel Gallagher was hating on it, saying that they'd stolen like the piano line. Noel Gallagher. Play about stealing. Could play about Genesis. As if Noel Gallagher has even 1% of the collective talent in Oasis that Genesis had. Tony Banks has more talent on his little finger.
Don't get into the mistake of doing that. It's pop music. It's contextual. Oasis are the greatest band in the world for a few years. You've got to give them that. And Genesis, I can't stand. I don't really like Phil Collins singing. I want Gabriel. But do you listen to? We talked about Mercy Street. If I play that, I'll shed a tear. That gets me every time.
Yeah, I was trying hard not to when you played Ripples. You're pushing.
Yeah. I also stopped it for that. Right.
But just quickly, you said Peter Gabriel. There are actually starting to crop up, and I look for these every single day. People are now making AI covers of Phil Collins' Genesis with Peter Gabriel's voice. But like they'll use Peter Gabriel's voice. I'll send you one of a trick of a tale.
I get you. Right, a couple of super chats that I didn't deal with, and his blog's in here. Is the Niggler here? I haven't seen him. Average Joe, no, we done that one. Delta Trotsker, would you do reactions to The Apprentice UK? I haven't ever watched it. I mean, I've seen sort of like 10 minutes of it. I know Dragon's Side, not that is. I know Dragon's Den inside out because I've been a fan of the show for years, which I think adds to my ability to get something out of it. I'll tell you what, I'll watch one Raw and I'll say at the beginning, I've never seen this show, and I'll give it a go. And if while I'm recording it, I feel like there's some entertainment value, I'll upload it. How about that, Delta? There you go. I'm always up for suggestions. Nice one for the donation. On the same page, did you say novel or navel? I'm not going to watch this channel if it has outie belly buttons. I said novel, but I haven't got an outie. I quite like a lady with an outie, though. I just like ladies, to be honest with you. What if you have trouble trace? Oh, yeah, we've done that one. Oh, I must have missed on the same page ones. Bailiff, yeah, we've done that one. Anglo topped that up. That was the same Barkley. Barkley, were you in the pop group Wham? Which means you are either George Michael or Andrew Ridgeley. I think it would have been Modern Romance. Surely it's Modern Romance.
Oh, there you look.
Oh, makes me want to dance. Oh, it's a new romance. Dun, dun, dun.
No, I actually get quite often, but I look like a young Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, that's not me winding up either. There's like one. There's what if you look up young Leonardo DiCaprio, scroll for a bit, you'll see the exact image. It's gonna beam straight out to you. You'll know exactly which one I'm talking about. I'm
not going to do that. I'm going to do this instead and show the people who are my age a little reminder of new romance and look at Barclay's Barnet. Have a look at this.
This isn't normally how I have my hair. I normally like sweep it back and middle part it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all
right. You can't even deny that. Look, he's changing it.
Yeah, there we go. It'll stay for about 4 seconds, then it'll go down again.
They were a cracking band, though.
No, at least I don't have the tick of constantly swiping my hair back like I used to. You always dig at me for it.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I was just reminding you about it.
Yeah.
Hang on. Anglo-Saxon. Please get Barkley on more often. He's a top lad, very brave young man. He's on a while. He comes on a lot, doesn't he?
I mean, for full streams. I bring the views, bring the controversy, bring the risk of having to take a stream down about 2 hours. Like, Chris, oh, I said something, and I just got a message, and like they didn't want that information out there.
Anglo, Barkley, I think it must be 3 or 2.
What?
2 or 3 times you've come on a stream of mine and then rung me up and said you've got to take that down.
Yeah, I've done it to a few people, to be fair, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in them. Yeah. So, Anglo, that's why not.
Says.
Really? That's what my mother says. Mrs. Me in it understands totally. On the same page. All right, Sonny, how many people do you that have aircraft carriers? All right, Sonny, how many people do you that have aircraft carriers? Just wondering. He's a strange articulation.
Do you know how many people do you know that have them?
I don't know anyone who owns an aircraft carrier.
It's a really, really specific question. Not sure if that was worth 20 Aussie dollars, but
maybe an Airfix model. Nice one on the same page. On the same page again. Great show. Even without the aircraft carriers, Ludwig drops an Ayrton Senna. Thanks for a great stream, lads. Your dad would be more than proud of such a well-humoured, strong-minded, decent young man, Chris. All the best. Oh, sorry, it says Barkley. Cheers, Ludwig. His blogs on the firm. That's a very nice thing to say. And I thoroughly agree with you, Ludwig. I mean, in fairness, I'd rather young Barkley look after himself rather than try and save Western Europe. But, it's his choice.
Well, I think, my dad, of course, if he, I'm sure he's up there watching, seeing the circumstances and the hand I was dealt. I think a lot of young boys who grew up in an age of information, an age on the internet, could have gone a lot worse basically. And at least I got to the point where I didn't want to make things worse. I wanted to make things better, and I slowly progressed my life into getting to that state, which most people won't.
Barkley, any father would be proud of you, mate. Yeah, don't worry about that. Really, yeah, if you were my boy, I'd be over the moon. Apart from the haircut.
Yeah.
But that's normal, you know. That dads are meant to take the piss out of their kids' haircut.
You reckon I should go for that haircut then?
I reckon you should. I would.
I'm so tempted, but I keep pussying out like when my hair gets a bit long because it looks so awkward.
There's the bob phase that a bloke doesn't want, and then you got to tie it, and then it's I get that. But while you've got hair, I had dreadlocks, Barkley. I had big old fuck off. I was a bitch magnet. You can. That's all I cared about. Right, people. Barkley, how much can I say about this, or not? It's hard for you to tell me. I'll just say it's Harry, right? That's it. So this is Harry. I was talking to him on a like a, what do you call it? Like this, video but not call. A live stream, like a video chat. So old.
A Telegram video call.
He had a t-shirt on when the chat started, and I said, Harry, this is Truck UK, whatever it is, Harry. I said, Harry, how ripped are you? Because his biceps, I mean, you know, they weren't quite as big as mine, but he hasn't got an ounce of fat on him. So he's got that ripped, you know what I mean? The muscles aren't particularly big, but
he's
it's
about
incredible.
63 kilos in this video. And he's about, I think he's slightly short of Emmy, but like less than an inch short of Emmy. And
I said, show us your muscles. And he took his top off like he was some male model. And then he just started giving it, and you'll hear me.
No, you asked him to show him. You asked him to show him some moves.
No, because I watched this today because I was going to put it in a video. He starts doing it, and then I go, "Go on, show us your moves." He's already doing it. Yeah, check it out, people. It's very funny. How old was he in this?
Oh God, he would be around probably like 23, 22.
So check it out, people. We got a 23-year-old young man.
Check the file date back, because it might be like around a year ago to this day.
He wants to show his fighting chops, and God bless him for doing it. Here we go. I've got to mute myself. Let me know you've got the audio, because that adds a bit of humour to it. Check it.
Can't hear it. It's pretty good, but he needs to tuck his elbows in a bit more.
What was that? What was that? What's that thing? Is that like a Usain Bolt? Is that one?
He's range finding.
Is that what it is? Oh yeah, fair enough. But he's got a full-on six-pack there, and that is hard graft. You know, even at that age, that's hard graft.
At this point, well, when I'm at a very skinny point, like if I get to about 68 kilos, I have an 8-pack now.
Really? I mean,
yeah, the only impressive parts of my body must.
You've got a 1-pack.
Yeah, not then. Don't know if I have one now.
Though, there.
Yeah. No.
Can I just show one picture of the pair of you together, please?
Go on. Yeah, God, I don't care. It's fine.
Have a look at this.
It's gonna be me walking around topless my pajama bottoms, isn't it?
Your face is amazing.
Yeah, how do I know? I mean, the key detail of that is the fact I'm eating a block of brie.
You're just eating. You're Harry looking like fucking a gladiator. What are you eating? Cheese?
Which blocks of brie?
Like a whole round of brie.
I'm not looking too bad in that, to be fair.
Look at your barnet is amazing there. That's how you should have your hair.
It's the exact same as how I've had it this whole stream.
That ain't the same.
But it's just longer now.
Yeah, but that's what makes a difference. That shaved bit of the sides. Anyway, I've got to get rid of that video. I think if I ever got done, they'd be like, why have you got homoerotic young men shirtless on your channel? And then I'll go, they're friends of mine. And they'll be like, yeah, that's even worse. I think Mrs. Me in it has come in, put through 10 squid, not got there, but git bastards have taken the dosh. Mrs. Min, email me about that, and that can get sorted out. So do so. Okay.
If you had a super chat comment, she could just put it in the chat, and you can keep an eye out for it.
What's that? What is
She
that?
put like a comment in the super chat when she sent the 10 quid. She, I guess she put some message in again, and she says what it was. I'll retain in case it was relevant or anything like that. I can't hear you. You muted?
Yeah, always happens. Always happens. Barkley, it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you. It really has. Really has. Why are you so far away? Do you want to sing some Genesis together?
What Genesis song are we going to sing?
The shrouded men move
across
the
lawn slowly. The seventh one's in front
with a cross held high in hand, singing,
and it's
hey, babe, your supper's waiting for you. Hey, my baby, don't you know my love is true?
Very good. I've been so far from here, far from your loving
eyes. It's good to
feel you again.
It's been a long, long time,
hasn't it?
Yes. Right,
I love
I'm meeting you now. We're ending with a bit of household anaesthetic. Barkley, bless you, my friend. You know I'm always here for you. Thanks for playing along at the beginning. That was good fun. That money will be coming to you. I don't know, when you get married or something. I'll put it on Palantir.
Can I just put a private chat? Because I want to see your live reaction to this. Okay.
All right. Well, it's not much fun for people watching. No, thank you, everyone.
No. It's got to be a secret joke. It's going to be a secret joke.
We've had a good old viewing figures. It went down from about 130 when we started singing. On the Bree stream.
No, think about it. Think about it.
Talking with teens?
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
No, we'll talk about it after. People will feel left out, and it's
okay. I'll try to see
I'll give you a call in a minute. Thanks for coming on, man. It's been surprisingly, not because I didn't expect it to, because I was going to do a 5-minute stream and take the piss out of your glasses. Look after yourself, mate. You know I'm always here for you.
Of course. Take care. Good night, Chris. Good night, Chad.
Look after yourself, man. There you go, people. Barkley Walsh. That turned out nice, didn't it? You know, I thought I'd call him on those glasses. I mean, they're a blag. We all know that. But he's 19. You know, you fight your corner, didn't you, when you're 19? I enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it. Really appreciate the donations. Without them, there's no streams. And look, I've done one every day because the grift has been good. I can justify staying up half the night. I never got round to telling you on the lock picking thing. I made 5 shorts and they got over 30,000 views in less than 24 hours, and that's why you'll see shorts coming out about this channel. They won't be getting that amount of views because I won't be putting in the SEO and the optimization and all that, because it's a lot of work. But, you know, I'll understand that you probably won't like them, but they will bring new people here. And you do need new people because people will leave eventually. You know, YouTube channels are transient. Although I'm very proud that I've still got a lot of people who've been here 4, 5, 6 years. And the likes of Average Joe, and there's a couple others, Dom, who've been here since the beginning, which is lovely. This is Anaesthetic by 90s ne'er-do-wells. That's not ne'er-do-wells, it's ne'er-do-wells household. I will be putting your messages on the screen. Look after yourselves, people. That was an unexpected pleasure, wasn't it? Ta-ta.
Send me for elastic, I'm fantastic. I got geometry, it's pretty drastic. Coochie coochie tiger, where can I hide ya? Your roar's too loud, mate. They're gonna find ya. And that's it.
Oh, thank you, Dawn. We're just wrapping up, Lola. It's a cracking stream, though. I would, watch it.
You're looking
Lovely
pretty
to see you,
rough, son.
Dawn.
Your
Thank
life's
you.
coming undone. Everywhere you go, you seem to know someone. I want to change my life, mum. I don't know what's going on. I pick up all the pieces, fall, and then I drop them. And that's again.
There's been a couple of super chats come through. I'll do them after the song.
And I am here now and then. 'Cause absence is everything. Yeah, and that's aesthetic. Yeah. Again. This is the next line. I wrote it when I felt fine. Now it's pointless. That's the effect of time. How did I get it there? Whisper it in my ear. I don't know myself. At least I ain't got my health. And that's it again. And I am here now and then. 'Cause absence is everything. And that's it. Yeah. Again.
You lucky bleeders, you're going to get another one. This is dedicated to my man Pizzle. Hope you're doing all right, son.
Good luck to me. Good luck to me. Here's my eyes. Here's my fatigue. It's going live. Submarine.
Love a bit of Jodie.
Get me a drink. Get me some green. I wanna enjoy the sun no matter money. It's going live. Submarine. How we getting back? I don't know where we've been. If you got the cat fare, I'll break into the speed. Good luck to luck, and good luck to them. I couldn't give up monkeys, fuck if I never saw them again. They're going live. Submarine. It's going submarine.
And there you go. Right, a couple of super chats came through there at the end, I think. I can't remember whether we've already had that one. I don't know where we are. Oh God, I'm getting confused here. The Truth Will Set You Free has been a member for 31 months. Nice one, Truth Will Set You Free. Head Wounds said, it's been a long time since I made any attempt to talk to my lovely species of humans. I am double busy and triple stupid. Love you all very much, brothers and sisters. Make an attempt to talk to some of them. Isolation is a sickness. Good luck to you, man. Thanks for that. And we had another member birthday, and that was up here somewhere. Oh, maybe it was that one and I've missed it. Apologies if I missed it. I don't know what's going on. It's so late. Oh, Grifter dropped in so thank you, Anglo. Right, people, it's 3:45. I've got to go to bed. I'm not going to bed, am I? I'm up till 7 every morning. I'm going to leave you with this image just because there's something about it that's very much of the Scrubs. Oh, bless you all. I love this place. Thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you to the boy Cray and my man Rags for looking after the place. And most of all, thank you to all you lot for coming on. And most of all, thank Barkley for being a good sport and also having a very honest and interesting conversation. Lots of love, people. Little Red's dropped one in. Thank you. Been lurking. Ta-da! Hoita!